So now let's shift to the current problem with advertising today. Facebook recently came out with their quarterly report where they showed for the first time in 2023, they actually had less impressions for you to advertise on, and it was more expensive to advertise on those impressions. In short, you have less spots to be able to run ads in, and it's more expensive to run those ads if you choose to. And because of that, a lot of you are getting squeezed out of your marketplace, meaning your old advertising campaigns that used to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9x return on ad spend are now barely breaking even, or they're sitting at a 1 to 2x return on ad spend. And if you add in your sales team commission, your setting team commission, your client success team, your fulfillment, your operations, all the payroll and overhead, many of you, and actually I know a couple of people spending literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in ad spend, literally only to break even or to even lose money. They are just spending money to try to keep this facade alive, to keep this team alive, to keep all their employees working for them while they try to scramble to figure out what the solution is. And I'm really in a fortunate position where we're spending roughly $5,000 a day on one specific funnel type, and we have roughly a 7x ROAS on that one funnel. So let me show you how we've been able to do that. For the vast majority of you, this is what your advertising campaigns look like. So you have an ad at obviously the very top of funnel, whether it's on YouTube, it's on Meta, or any one of the other platforms. Then you have some kind of sales mechanism. So this could be video sales letters. This could be webinars. This could be challengers. This could be DM funnels. This could be literally one of 100 different things that you guys are doing to try to make these ads profitable. What it is not important for this video. I have different videos where I actually go a little bit more in depth as far as which funnels I recommend. Then after you have the sales mechanism, then you're gonna have the sales call where you're pretty much gonna get on the call with them and convince them to buy your stuff, at which point you make a sale, right? So we'll put a little dollar bill for you hardworking people out there. Now, a couple of years ago, you could literally just run this by itself and you could have, let's say roughly, 2% of people that see the ad eventually become a high ticket client. And this is where people were running, and myself included, even a 7x ROAS years ago. This is in 2019, 2020. And that was because ads were incredibly cheap. There wasn't a lot of competition in the marketplace. We weren't in a trust recession, blah, blah, blah. Now, over the past couple of years, all of those things have happened. We're at the lowest point of person-to-person trust in the last 40 years. Have more competition than you ever did before. And like I said earlier on, you have less spots to run ads on and they're more expensive, according to Meta's quarterly reports. And so what people are now seeing is instead of a 7x ROAS, they are seeing roughly 1% of people that are ads turn into dollars, and you also have more of, let's say, a 2 to 3x ROAS, which isn't terrible, right? I talked earlier about people breaking even on their advertising campaigns, but you have to understand a 2 to 3x ROAS when you are spending like $500 a day, maybe $1,000 a day, it's not that great because everybody who's been running ads for a while knows that as you scale that to $1,000 a day, to $2,000 a day, to where we're at $5,000 a day, to eventually $10,000, $15,000 a day, which I've been before, all of those numbers are going to start going down. So your profitability is going to shrink, your return on ad spend is going to shrink, et cetera, which means that if you're starting at a 2 to 3x ROAS, you're going to end up at a 1x ROAS or even below it when you really try to scale this thing. So we really want to start at a high ROAS level so that over time, as we're spending more and more money and our funnels becoming less and less efficient, it's okay because we're still at a high return on ad spend and we're still highly profitable. So what have people done over the past couple of years? Well, they've done a few different things. The first thing that people have done is they've added in appointment setters to the process. So those are a really great way to increase the amount of leads that you get that turn into qualified book calls. You could sometimes double the return on ad spend in an entire funnel just by adding appointment setters. Another great example is email campaigns. So email blasts that people throw inside of there. That's another really great way. 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, you're dropping case studies, testimonials, and you're making calls to action. And just like the sales mechanisms, there are a dozen of different ways that people have really fought to try to increase their return on ad spend, like live webinars and a bunch of different stuff like that. Now let's talk about what are the downsides of a lot of these things here. Well, they require a lot of work in my opinion, and they're not very leveraged, right? So you could argue that maybe the email's a little bit leveraged, maybe the live webinar's a little bit leveraged, but it still requires a lot of your work every single day to manage the sales team or the setting team. I mean, it still requires your time to write up the emails and send the email blasts out. You still have to get the people as leads to be able to send the email blasts out in the first place. The live webinar is going to take up some of your time. So even though it's definitely true that you should be doing this because you can't really just run ads and make money anymore, so you have to have one more layer, I want to talk to you now about what we've done to not only take what we have here, but to take the entire marketing campaign and convert it from, like, let's say a 3 to 4x ROAS to a 5 to 7x ROAS, even at scale. In short, I have a very strong belief that right now you have to be using a blend of both paid advertising and organic content strategies in order to really scale and make a difference in your marketplace. If you're just doing organic content, then you're going to have a really highly profitable company, but you're not going to have the scalability and speed from paid ads. And if you're just doing paid ads, then you're going to be able to scale, but you're not going to be very profitable. So you have to follow a blended approach. And this is where I coined the phrase about a year ago, the self-sustaining funnel. And it's when you use both paid advertising and organic, and they both feed into each other in order to help scale your company.
If you want my help installing any of these systems in your business done for you, be sure to book a call with my team down below.